friends, we are going to do some balance and stability exercises today from a sitting and standing position, and we are going to start in sitting. So you want to find a chair that you can sit in comfortably. You're going to sit kind of towards the edge of the chair so you can have your feet on the ground and you can have just a little bit of weight through your feet so you can feel like you're nice and grounded. You want to sit on your sit bones, so equal weight through right and left sit bones so you're sitting nice and tall. Think about ears over your shoulders and shoulders over your hips in this position. You also want to think about keeping your trunk over your pelvis. So you want to make sure you're not in your curve pattern, but that you're sitting up, lengthening through your spine before you even begin. So thinking nose over belly button here is a good idea. And we're going to start by taking a few breaths just from this nice neutral sitting position. And you have some choices for hand positioning. You might choose to keep your hands on your lap, or if you want to feel just a little bit more activity and engagement through your core, bring your fingertips up to your shoulders and keep your elbows pressing wide here. You're going to feel how that turns on your core musculature just a little bit more. So that's what I'm going to do. And we're going to start with your first breath, inhaling and lengthening, expanding and opening through the concavities of your back. As you exhale, pressing your elbows wide, pressing your head and hips in opposite directions. Inhale, lengthen, expand, and open. And then exhale, and don't collapse back down. Keep that pressure and tension. Hold it right there. Inhale, lengthen, expand, and open even more. And then exhale and push, elbows wide, head and hips opposite directions. Keep pressure and tension. This should feel like work. Inhale, lengthen, expand again, growing taller and wider. As you exhale, press your elbows wide, press your head and hips opposite directions. Hold that position. Inhale, move your prominence forward, concavity out and back. As you exhale, hold on to that nice new position. Keep it right there. Take a couple of breaths naturally. You're going to lower your arms down to your sides, but try not to change anything in your trunk positioning. And we're going to start with a little bit of a seated march. And so when you start going into your march, you really want to try not to change anything in the position of your spine. I'm going to turn so that you can see the side view here. You can stay in your same positioning. And so from the side, as you start to lift one leg up, a lot of people start to round and get this type of motion happening. We don't want that. So you want to keep your back nice and neutral. This doesn't change here. Keep that good positioning that you just achieved and try to make the motion come from your hips. This might mean that it's a smaller motion, and that's just fine. You're really limited by strength and mobility of your hips here, and we're trying to keep your lumbar spine neutral. So we really don't want the movement happening there. So you're going to pick up one foot, then the other. Think about your breath as you're doing this. Every inhale, you're bringing your prominence forward and upward. Every exhale, you're not allowing yourself to collapse back down. You're keeping that nice length and width through your back. Just that little movement. If you start to lift too high or feel like you're rounding through your low back, that's a good indicator to just slow the motion down, move a little bit less. It's all about maintaining that postural correction here. Just a few more, and then stop. Reset, check your alignment, check to make sure you're still in your best sitting position. Equal weight through your sit bones, sitting nice and tall, lots of space between top of your hips, bottom of your rib cage, lots of length through the ribs on each and every side, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Take a few more breaths. We're going to come back, fingertips on shoulders, maybe 3 more breaths here. Inhale and lengthen, growing tall and wide. As you exhale, pressing your elbows wide, pressing your head and hips in opposite directions. Keep it right there. Inhale, lengthen, expand, and open even more. And then exhale, hold it there, don't collapse. Keep that pressure and tension. Inhale, lengthen, expand, and open. And exhale and push, elbows wide, head and hips opposite directions. Hold it there, don't collapse. You can bring your arms down to your lap here. Take a few more breaths naturally. And then we're gonna go ahead and do a little bit of arm circles. So you're just gonna make little circles coming up and then lowering back down. Again, really watching that nice neutral spine. Just like with your march, if you start to feel like your low back is arching, it's probably because you're lifting a little bit too high and you're not getting the mobility from your shoulders anymore, you're just getting it from your low back. So that's just a little bit of a cheat we'd like to avoid. So maybe one more time here. Come on back down. Reset, check your positioning. And then we're gonna come up into standing. So as you come up into standing, if you need to use your chair for support to help you stand up, go ahead and do that. Definitely safety first. Always keep yourself safe. But if you can, try to just lean forward, hinging from your hips here, thinking about moving your nose over your toes, and then push up strong through your legs into standing, standing nice and tall, finding your best standing position. Equal weight through your feet, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, hips over ankles. We're gonna bring fingertips up to your shoulders again, elbows pressing nice and wide. Inhale, lengthen, expand, and open. And then exhale, hold it there, don't collapse. Keep that pressure and tension, staying tall and wide. Inhale, lengthen, expand, open even more. And then exhale and push, elbows wide, head and hips opposite directions. Inhale, lengthen, expand, open again through the concavities of your back. And then exhale and push, hold it there, don't collapse back down, keep that pressure and tension. Inhale, lengthen, expand, and open. Exhale, hold it there, don't change anything, keep pressure, keep tension, maintain. You can go ahead and bring your hands down to your sides, reset, find your best standing position. We're gonna do a little bit of a balance challenge here, so I'm gonna come around to use the back of the chair for some support. You could use a table, a heavy piece of furniture, just something to give you that little bit of extra sense of balance here is nice. So you're gonna find that best standing position, and you're gonna shift all of your weight first onto your left leg. So as you start to shift your weight onto your left leg, you're gonna really wanna think about firing that left glute, kind of squeezing the muscles there, staying nice and tall. If it feels okay to you, try to float that right foot up. So now you're just standing on just one leg. You can softly bend that right knee if you need to. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna come out to the side. And so the goal here is to maintain the postural corrections. That means you're really gonna be working this standing leg. So a lot of times when we start to add a strength or a balance challenge, our body defaults into our curve position. So even though this movement might be something familiar to you, the key is really making sure that you're doing it in your own postural corrections, not allowing yourself to collapse into your curve. And that really is what makes this different, is that extra attention on your part of where your focus is. You can go ahead and bring that right foot down, reset, find that nice balance. This time we're gonna shift all your weight onto your right leg. You can start thinking about squeezing that right glute, standing nice and tall. Weight bearing is associated with lengthening through your muscles. So as you shift your weight onto the side of your concavity, it's gonna be easier to maintain that openness. And as you shift your weight onto what might be your more dominant or default leg, it's gonna be harder. So something to think about where you might find challenges here. So as you come onto your right leg, squeeze that right glute. You're gonna unweight your left leg, and same thing, you're using your chair for balance, so you can do as light of a grip as you need. If you start to get confident, you can even lift and float your hands, but always keep yourself safe. That's really critical. So you can, same thing, focusing on keeping that nice postural correction, not going into your curve, not scrunching through your concavity, but maintain that openness and the postural correction, even if it means that the movement is just a little bit less. And you can go ahead and set that left leg back down. We're gonna go straight into some hip extension from here too. So standing nice and tall, find that good alignment, and you're just gonna go ahead and extend your legs straight back. When you're extending back, we're trying to get glutes firing here. This is what we're after. We're not trying to get your back arching, so you don't wanna do that. It's not a big motion. It's just that little extension, glute squeeze, while you're maintaining the postural correction, which is always key. If you can't maintain your postural correction, then you're not ready for this movement yet, and you want to go back and do something else first. It could be strengthening, it could be balance that's limiting you, and you want to work on those areas first. All right, so come back, we're going to do last leg here, extending from your hip, squeezing that glute. Really focusing on not going into your curve pattern, maintaining your balance, staying nice and tall, and then reset, find that nice standing position. And we're gonna go into a little mini squat. So same thing here, it's the postural correction that really determines, above all else, if you're ready for this movement. You're gonna try to keep your pelvis nice and centered. You're gonna hinge at your hips, sit back like you're sitting in a chair, and then come back up into standing. You could even do this in front of your chair, just like you're sitting down, or you can use the back of the chair for a little bit of balance and support. And we're just doing a little mini squat. So we're not even going all the way down. We're just doing a little squat and coming back up. As you squat and come back up, squeeze your core, squeeze your glutes. Stand tall, find that best standing position, then hinge at your hips, mini squat again, come up, find that nice alignment, stand up again, we're gonna do 2 more. Each time you're standing up, you're thinking about making sure your pelvis is nice and midline, your hips aren't going to the right or to the left, nose and belly button are lining up, equal space between your hips and your forearms, standing nice and tall, long through the back of your neck here. And then we're gonna come back into sitting for a moment. And we're just gonna take a little sitting active rest break. So finding that nice sitting position again, sitting nice and tall, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, hips over ankles. We're gonna bring fingertips up onto your shoulders for just a few breaths. Inhale and lengthen, and then exhale, press your elbows wide, head and hips opposite directions. Inhale and lengthen, grow tall, grow wide, and exhale and push. Don't collapse down, keep that pressure and tension. Inhale, lengthen, and open through the concavities of your back. And then exhale, hold it right there, don't collapse down, keep that pressure and tension. Inhale, lengthen, expand, open even more. And exhale and push, hold it there, don't collapse, keep pressure, keep tension, maintain. Take a couple of breaths naturally. You can bring your hands down here, and we're gonna try doing some heel raises from a sitting or seated position. So you're gonna go ahead and lift one heel and then the other. And this is just getting us prepped for our next exercise in standing. So we're getting some nice ankle mobility. You're thinking about maintaining your postural corrections, just lifting one foot then the other. It's a little bit of a coordination challenge just to multitask. As you keep breathing, every inhale, moving that concavity forward and upward. Every exhale, thinking about maintaining that expansion. Okay, we're gonna come back up into standing. So you can come and use the back of your chair again for a little bit of support here, and we're going to do some heel raises from this position. So as you start to come up onto your heels, you're really going to be activating all of the muscles through your legs, and this is going to be a nice opportunity to keep your ears over your shoulders, shoulders over hips, hips over ankles. So you're going to inhale, come up onto your toes, and exhale, lower back down. Inhale, lift and lengthen, growing tall and wide. And then exhale, lower back down. Keep your nose and belly button lined up, pelvis centered. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, lower down. If it feels all right to you, we can try just one foot. So just like before shifting all your weight onto one leg, as soon as you make that shift, you really want to squeeze your glute, pick up your foot on the other side, and then inhale, coming up on one leg, lowering down. If that feels like too much, you can always just stay on both legs or just feet flat on the ground. When you start to push both strength and balance, your body's going to want to go back into your curve pattern. So you really want to make sure that you're only trying this if you can do it, not going straight into your curve pattern. As you start to get tired, maybe one last repetition. Reset, find that nice balance. We're going to come onto the other foot. As you shift your weight, squeeze that glute on that side, float the foot up. You're going to go ahead and come up on your heel, lower back down. Inhaling as you lift, exhale as you lower. Inhale as you lift, exhale as you lower. You can always start to play with how much support you need from the object in front of you to make it a little bit harder, but always striking that balance between safety first. Do one more, come back down, reset, find your best standing position here. And then go ahead and take a few more breaths just from that nice standing posture. Ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, hips over ankles, nose and belly button in a nice line. Nice job.